Hello and welcome to the Million Dollar Speaker Podcast. Hi, I'm Arvee Robinson. I'm the Master Speaker Trainer, international speaker, best-selling author, and your host for today's show, the Million Dollar Speaker Podcast. And today I have a very special guest. This is a long-term client of mine. She's gone through my mastermind, my year-long mastermind, a couple of times. She is a speaker. She is an author. She is a podcaster. She's a health advocate. She is creating a movement for global health. So let me introduce my guest today, who is Dr. Mary Zennett. She is the founder of Movement for Global Health, which is an organization that is passionate about improving the health status of individuals in the U.S. and worldwide. Dr. Mary is a board-certified psychiatrist with 35 years with a training in lifestyle medicine. Now, Movement for Global Health offers reasonably priced health surveys to conduct personalized assessments and point clients in the direction of better health. This includes diet, exercise, and other holistic modalities that translate to better energy or sleep and a more stable mood. Now, the Movement for Global Health is not a clinic. It is more of a consulting agency that explores lifestyle changes that can be beneficial. It is stated that 85% of chronic illnesses can be well managed with lifestyle changes. So, Movement for Global Health's goal is to help clients enhance the quality of their lives. Now, Dr. Zennett's next speaking engagement is the premier annual summit on the Women's Influence Network in October 2022 in Paris, France. She will speak about the innovative model for combating global childhood malnutrition. Now, today, we're going to talk about Mary's speaking experience, and we're also going to talk about moving past COVID and the importance of lifestyle. So please help me welcome Dr. Mary Zennett. Yeah, Dr. Mary, welcome, welcome, welcome. It's so exciting to have you on the show today.
Thank you so much, Arvee.
All right. This is a topic that we all need to hear. It's a topic that speakers must hear, must follow, because we need to have vibrant health if we're going to step on stage and speak or give workshops for hours and hours and hours on end. So health is so important. So let's get started. And the first question I always love to ask my guests is, what do you think as a speaker? I know you've been speaking and you're due to speak in France, so that's so exciting. But what do you think the number one characteristic is, or multiple characteristics, of a $1 million speaker?
Arvee, I would say to inspire people to action.
Good.
And that means not being boring. Okay. We can have, and I'm in health, okay, we can have a lot of facts, okay, I have volumes of facts, but the biggest challenge that I see that I have is, how do I take those facts and distill them to something that's meaningful for the audience, that a light bulb goes on. It's like, oh yeah, it's like throwing out a little ball to the audience saying, yeah, here, catch this, catch this, catch this, and get them actively engaged.
And not just meaningful, but memorable, right? I mean,
absolutely.
Remember your message. So let's talk about your message and how important that is. I know you've got a big message. Your message is creating a movement. So tell us a little bit about your message and about the movement for global health.
Well, our mission is to create a healthy world. And that's not a small mission.
No, it isn't.
That's not a small mission. but it's one person at a time. So we educate and empower people to have healthy lifestyle tips. There's too much today, Arvee, that is missed. There are little things that we can and must be aware of that will greatly enhance the quality of our lives and our health. And if we don't know these things, we're running the risk of being very ill.
Right. Well, let's talk about those couple of things then, since you brought it up. So if there are a couple of things that all of us should absolutely know to have better health, what are they? And I know you teach this, and you could go and give, workshops from today for the next 50 years. But if we could boil it down to a couple of things like you're alluding to, what would those couple of things?
So what I do, Arvee, I break it down into 3 categories. Okay. The first is our diet. And why do I say that? Because our gut contains more nerve chemicals than our brain. 90% of our serotonin is our gut. So this is mental health month. It's like the best thing you could do is be good to your gut. So why is this important? Skyrocketing rates of depression, anxiety. COVID doubled the rate of mental illness, doubled.
Right.
Okay. But if we do not pay attention to our food and what we're eating, we're missing the boat. So specifically, anti-inflammatory foods, okay, like I've shared with you, okay, the whole thing about vegetable oil, people look at me like I'm crazy. Vegetable oil, heart healthy vegetable oil, well, just Google it and see what the leading doctors are saying about the pro-inflammatory effects of that vegetable oil. Now, here's the sneaky part. You can switch to buying olive oil, avocado oil, or butter or ghee, but it's in our food. It's in the processed food. So if you eat a granola bar, chances are very good one of those bad oils will be in there.
You know what? That's a good point, and we don't think or see that oftentimes. So, I mean, there's so much we could talk about in this small amount of time or short amount of time that we have. So, diet is one thing, and we all learn this. We all know that. But I love what you said. There's sneaky things that are in diet, and again, you are what you eat. Right? In the computer world, we have a saying: garbage in, garbage out. Right? So it's like cheap food ain't cheap, really, right? On your body.
Exactly.
It's going to cause a lot of havoc. So no vegetable oil. I got that. But again, let's talk about the American diet. Let's talk about labels. Let's talk about processed food. Let's talk all that stuff that we know we're not supposed to eat, but tell us the hidden dangers, because we know, okay, I'm not supposed to eat processed, right? But maybe if people knew why they're not supposed to, maybe they will listen up a little bit more.
Mm-hmm. Well, the processed are literally toxic for our systems, okay? Like you said, garbage in, garbage out. The standard American diet, they say this is not food. Think about what we're saying. This is not real food. So in your mind, you say, I am going to make a conscious commitment to shift to real food. And that means organic vegetables, organic produce, okay? Because the non-organic is so full of pesticides, it's risky for you. So that gets into my next point, and that is one of toxins, okay? Toxins in our air, food, and water have contaminated us to a point where I'm going to tell you, an article came out in The Lancet, which is a very prestigious medical journal, and it talked about how COVID hit the world by storm. And do you know what say their biggest risk factors were? They said it hit the world that's had 30 years of toxins in the air, food, and water, 30 years. All right. and rising rates of obesity. Now, I don't blame people. I do not blame people. People do not have this knowledge, which is why our mission is to get the word out to people. So, Arvee, I'm coming out with a little book, and the little book, it's going to be like a consumer's guide where you go in the store, you'll say, oh, yeah, that's okay to eat. Well, that's not okay. Oh, that's a warning sign. And I get into some other areas like water. What do you do to have clean water? What do you do so that you have clean, pure household products? We're all cleaning our homes. Is it helping us or hurting us?
Very important.
We have to know and the little things. We have babies crawling on carpets with toxins right there exposing their little systems. And we have very well-intentioned parents that just don't know this. So it's really our mission to raise awareness, get the word out. And then what we tell people, don't stop there. Reach out to your family and friends so that organically this message spreads,
Right.
so that we can create a healthy world.
Right. And Dr. Mary, here's the thing. Now, more than ever before, we have information available. I know you're on YouTube. You've got several YouTube on different YouTube videos on different topics like the vegetable oil, and even the telephone rays and all this stuff that's available. And I really want to encourage people to look you up and to go and look at your videos. There's lots of other doctors. This information, we are on information superhighways now, and we can go and get this where, years ago, we didn't have this available. So there really is no excuse not to be healthy. It's just so many people have blinders on, and they are, they're just not looking at labels, and they're not looking at food. They're just stuffing their face. But you brought up an important point about COVID, and I know a part of our topic today is moving past COVID and the importance of lifestyle. So tell us a little bit about that. And then I want to swing back around and learn more about you, your background, and your business. But tell us a little bit how we can move past COVID, what that looks like in the health arena, again, for global health.
Well, it boils down to building our immune system. Okay, see, we are used to, as a society, sitting passively. We go to the doctor a couple of times a year, just do what the doctor says, walk out of the office, and then all bets are off. Okay, they would just go back and lead our lives. Okay, but we're learning more. We're learning that we need to treat our immune system as if we were an athlete working out. Okay, we're giving it the vital nutrients. We're doing everything we can. So, like when this article at the Lancet said, we need to raise the bar as a society and have healthier lifestyles all around. Okay, we need to get the toxins out of the air, the food, the water. But we can't do all that, but we can do it for ourselves and our families.
Yes.
We can share with our friends and neighbors how we're doing it, and then they'll do it. And that's how we have an organic movement where we're looking after one another. I'll be honest with you. The food banks are short right now. I don't know about you have it here. Our mail carrier service had bags in our little mailboxes so that we could leave donations of food. And I saw it, and it was in California, a food bank, and the warehouse shelves were empty. But then I thought about this. Okay, and I think it's great because I think that's something we can all have a little bit and we can participate. But are we given garbage food or are we given decent food?
Right.
And this is our hearts. Arvee, our hearts have the highest vibrational energy. So when we give from our hearts, we're actually getting so much back. And it doesn't have to be a lot. You give what you can, but you have a giving mindset, a caring mindset, a prayerful mindset.
Right.
That's so vital today more than ever. So I see us as raising the vibrational energy
Of the world.
and
Of
the
the world.
planet. I believe that to my core.
So tell us a little bit about how you got started in the whole health movement, and where you want to take this. Besides, just generally saying global health, what is your vision? So how did you get started, and what is your vision?
Well, really quickly, I got started with health because my mom had a lot of health challenges. When I was 3 years old, I remember how ill she was. She could barely get out of bed, but I watched her lifestyle habits. That's how I became so I watched her. We would go to the library. That was back before the internet. She would be reading and she was studying. She had a master's degree in math. She was a very smart woman, but she was sick. But she got her hands on everything she could. And she was a master of lifestyle. So to make a long story short, okay, she was diagnosed with metastatic breast cancer. She was given 6 months to live. I mean, it was awful. She was down to 83 pounds. I mean, this was not looking good, okay? But she was very prayerful. You know what she said? She said, Arvee, she says, Mary, it's not my time. I'm not supposed to die. And she prayed. She did everything the doctor said, but she was so vigilant about lifestyle, everything she put in her mouth. She read, she studied. So guess what? She lived 26 more years.
Yay,
26 more. And I'm going to tell you a secret. Those tumors had little membranes on them. They encapsulated the spread of the cancer, stopped. And when you see that, I get chills telling you this. It's like, oh my God, because I witnessed it. It's like, oh my God, this cancer was growing and was spreading in her liver too. And they had little encapsules on them. I says, this is the power of prayer and the power of healthy lifestyle. So when I look back and I said, you know what? It is my mission. It's been my mission for a long time. Now I feel it's time to really get the word out. And that speaks to where we're moving with global and empowering people, because it's those little steps that too often get missed. People are looking for big fancy technology. If we're human beings, if we ignore the basics, we've missed it. We missed the boat. And it has to be a caring and a sharing. And I really believe it's time for us to raise the vibration on this planet. I truly do. The planet is hurting. Okay. I volunteer for an organization and I hear the stories of children in these orphanages. Well, it is just absolutely devastating. And this is all over the world. But when they get little nutrition, little high quality, the sky's the limit. They don't even get sick. So if we, as we're growing, evolving, sharing, caring, we can do so much. And I really believe it's at this organic level, at this grassroots level. Because I used to say, Arvee, 20 years ago, I was writing about healthcare and say, yeah, if we do this, 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 this. I'm like, wait a minute. I'm one little doctor, okay? They're not going to listen to me. They're not going to listen. But they don't listen. They listen to whoever is paying the bill. Okay, I'm just being candid. However, when we do it from a grassroots organic level, we empower people. We give people hope. And we've lost too many people. I think as a society, we need to heal from all this. This is, and we've got to protect ourselves. We can't afford another pandemic. We've got to raise our energy, raise our immune system, strengthen ourselves, strengthen our communities so that we're prepared.
Right. And it's, I mean, the global health movement, I know that's a big task, but again, one person at a time. If people get on that bandwagon and they just get healthy themselves, then they will spread the word. But I think our human body is so forgiving, so complex, that people shove junk in their mouth for years and years and years, and they don't see it, the toxicity, right? They don't see the damage.
They don't.
Until it's too late. So it's like, with this movement, people healthy, if you're feeling healthy, great. Keep being healthy, right? Keep moving. You can always move closer and closer to health. It's like if you eat canned food. I knew one of my naturopath doctors said that she told one of her patients she had to stop eating canned stew. And the woman was all sad, and she's like, "Oh, I love stew. I can't." And the doctor said, "Make your own. Hello, you can still have stew, just don't have canned stew, because
Exactly.
I mean, we can make our own. We can grow our own vegetables. We can, we can go that next step and help other people. And again, my church always says food, but they always say non-perishable food. Well, the non-perishable food is the food that's not the healthiest for us.
Exactly.
So we have to make these changes, right? We have to make
critical. It's critical.
Yeah.
And your doctor is absolutely right. Okay, those linings on the cans and all that. But remember, years ago, our grandparents, our grandma made everything from scratch.
Soup. Yeah, they made chicken soup.
Exactly.
So let's talk a little bit about you speaking, about you getting this word out, because I know that it's your passion, it's your mission. So tell us a little bit about what you're doing and what kind of speaking engagements you are looking for, in case there's some of our listeners have a door that they could open for you.
Oh, absolutely. Well, and I have been approached. I'm on LinkedIn, and I have been asked by several organizations to speak. I am Monday speaking for, it's an international conference on family wellness, and it's going to be in Poland.
But you're going to do it virtually, right?
Of course.
Otherwise, you would be gone right now, right?
I'd be on the plane right now. But it's such a privilege. It's such a privilege to serve and help empower people. And this is a global event. And then in October.
What is the topic of that one? What are you speaking about?
This one is, well, my personal topic is family wellness in a stressful world.
Okay. I love it. Okay.
Yep. Because Arvee, one thing that I do, remember, I am a child psychiatrist as well as adult. So I am going to be offering some family workshops on childhood self-esteem. And why it's so important is that families can do so much by their words and by their engagement. And remember, families are busy, but the families are the foundation. So, and it's preventing problems. Right. So I'm very excited about that's going to be rolling out in probably the next month or two. And I've got several networking events that I'm going to be a speaker. One is actually a keynote, and that'll be in the fall. And then I'm going to be speaking on the nutrition crisis in Paris. That's going to be in October.
Right.
So, yeah. And I am getting requests. So,
but right now you do have a podcast. Tell us about your podcast.
I do have a podcast.
YouTube videos.
I do have a podcast, and that's we're aiming to get back to every week, and it is Movement for Global Health. I interview guests. So if you're a guest, with some innovative strategies, I would be thrilled to have you on as a guest and spotlight you.
Innovative strategies for global health, right?
For global health. Well, and that means locally and globally. Absolutely. Absolutely.
And then your YouTube channel, that's Movement for Global Health as well. And
yeah, that one's Dr. Mary Zennett. Yes.
Tell us some of the tips that we should go and listen to right now today.
Well, we talked about the vegetable oil, the EMF. I can't say enough about, and I've got videos on that. This 5G, these are things we can do. There are serious health risks, but they're silent, right? Your phone's not telling you that it's sending out these signals and frequencies. What we need to do at night is shut our phones off and put it on airplane mode.
Okay, that's good to know.
So simple, so simple. And I'm going to tell you something, parents, because when we work with the kids and the teenagers, we say that all do this. The kids are up all hours of the night with the social media. And the truth of the matter is the research is coming out, and there is a very high correlation with depression, low self-esteem, high levels. Well, and the poor kids are not sleeping. They're scrolling and texting, and they're getting all these, and there is a lot of unhealthy stuff out there. So just, hey, we are a Wi-Fi safe family. We are a Wi-Fi safe household, and all phones are on airplane mode at night, 10 o'clock. There's no need for it. No need for it.
Now, so the airplane mode, does the alarm still work if people are using their phone as an alarm?
That's a really good question. I will be very honest with you. I don't even know. But I would tell anybody, I would
hold an alarm clock, right? Don't have
an alarm. Go the old-fashioned way. You see,
the old-fashioned.
This is the point. Now, I don't know about you, but I mean, I always had a little alarm clock that wasn't even connected, didn't even need to be plugged in. Remember those old little clocks?
Oh, yeah.
Because if there was a power outage, you still had your alarm clock. So I think what the message we're getting is we've got to be more vigilant and not be fooled, not become dependent on all the technology to the point where it's hurting us. Arvee, I met with a woman whose husband was an electrician. This is so sad. And from all that Wi-Fi exposure, he had a massive brain tumor.
Oh, poor thing. Okay, well, we'll change that subject real quick.
Well, but I'm going to give you a positive story about that.
Let me ask you before you do that, what about Fitbits and phones, Apple phones and all that are attached to our wrists? What about that and the dangers of that?
Well, I would keep it, what I'm reading is the experts are telling us to keep a distance from those phones.
No, I'm talking about when you're wearing it on your wrist, the Fitbit that keeps track of all of your steps.
Yeah, that's okay, but limit the time. Don't wear that all day.
A lot of them, a lot of people wear it and sleep with it. I took mine off because I read that it ages you from the inside out. Exactly. I thought, well, that's enough for me. I'm getting rid of my Fitbit. And I wore it for probably 10 years, 24/7. The last one I got even let you take it in the water and the pool and the shower. So no for those. Okay, got it. Now tell us a little bit more about your YouTube. So those are two, vegetable oil and the 5G. But I want to just run through a few real quick hits of some of your topics that are on YouTube.
Okay, dental care. Do you know that the #1 health concern globally is dental cavities? Did you know each tooth is an organ, like the heart, the liver, each tooth? So that flossing and rinsing with a good rinse to get all that bacteria out. Remember, the bacteria that's in between the teeth and in the plaque, that's what can lead to problems with our heart, our lungs, and everything else. So yeah, dental care is absolutely critical.
So what you're telling me, or what I'm learning here, is health is more than just the food you eat. It is everything around you, everything around you. Okay, Dr. Mary, I mean, I want people to go to your YouTube channel. So tell us what that is, and then we're going to wrap it up for today. But again, this conversation is not over, because now people need to take health into their own hands. They need to learn more, go to your YouTube channel, listen to your podcast. So tell people how they can plug into you, the expert on health.
The podcast is Dr. Mary Zennett, Zennett, and we are on YouTube. And we're also on Podbean, so you can have Audible, or the actual videos. Movement for Global Health is our website. And if you subscribe, I will not bombard you with emails, but I'll give you important tips and strategies to help you stay healthy and enhance the quality of your life. Right now, those are the two best ways to be in touch with me.
Beautiful, beautiful. Now, is there any other way that you want people to get a hold of you? You're on social media. You said LinkedIn, Facebook.
LinkedIn is an excellent way. I have a lot of people reaching me via LinkedIn message.
Excellent. So now, Dr. Mary, before we go, did you have any gift or anything you want to give our listeners today?
What I would like to do is, for people that are interested, on our website, there is a gift that we will email to you directly. And it's got a lot of tips and strategies.
Okay, and that website is movementforglobalhealth.com, movementforglobalhealth.com. Go there, connect with Mary, go to your favorite Audible or Podbean or whatever, and find her podcast, go to YouTube, check her out. There is no reason that you can't be healthier than you already are. There is no reason. The information is out there. Mary's out there. So now, Dr. Mary, what do you want to share with what's the last words of wisdom that you want to share with our audience today?
Really, I think back to my mom. It's the little things. When I think about it, it's the little choices what you're eating, for breakfast, for lunch, for your snacks. She was such a master, and she lived with good quality of life for 26 more years.
Fascinating. That is fascinating, because she took health in her own hands.
Oh, she did.
You took health in your own hands. All right, Dr. Mary, thank you so much for being on the show. I know we just barely scratched the tip. There is so much, and that's why I want people to go to your YouTube channel, listen to your podcast, and just drink it all in, because it's healthy. It's healthy drink. All right. I'm sure you've got some YouTubes on sodas and some of those things as well.
Oh, yes.
But it's such a pleasure to be with you today, and I really support you and your efforts for your movement for global health. So thank you again for being on the show today.
Thank you so much, Arvee.
All right, everyone, that's our show today, the $1 Million Speaker Podcast. Tune in back here next week. Bye for now.